again, this is Ben Hitchcock-Cross talking to you. For today, we have a sworn affidavit by Bob Peterson regarding how he was served by Deb Keither. I guess he doesn't know about the Facebook video or the video itself, the 1,700 hits so far. But hey, I guess this is an old trick here where you put out a statement, although you know it's untrue, apparently, because I don't know how else he could account for this differences here, but we'll figure it out. So we're going to compare here the video from Bob Peterson's sworn statement about what happened while he was being served here. So that should be fun. Let's check it out. So let's just do the video here for starters. We'll watch it once through. Ooh, nice move there at the end. All right. So, we'll compare that with what he says here, I guess. So, his name is Bob Peterson. So this is an affidavit he wrote for a motion to quash here. And what they're asking for is to keep Debbie Keither out of a deposition of Bob Peterson because Bob Peterson is apparently physically afraid of Debbie Keither, afraid that she's going to assault him based on his statements here. So that's that's what they're asking for the judge in Teresa Falderon's case to prevent Debbie Keither from being in a deposition with Robert Peterson. Now, let's just all keep in mind that the last time that this attorney here who signed this brief here was in a room alone with Debbie Keither, he came up to her and called her a coward and told her that he can't wait to depose her. So, they do seem to have different, let's say, standards for their own behavior as opposed to anybody else's. So this is important here because this is Bob Peterson's sworn statement. It's an affidavit here. So it's signed by him, apparently. Same ink, but okay. This is the legal assistant to Chris Reardon, the attorney here for Milwaukee Public Schools, sworn to him, to her, that this is his statement. So he says, I drove my car into the parking lot of the central office for Milwaukee Public Schools, which is located on Vliet Street. I traveled to the central office that day to preside over a school board meeting, which was scheduled for later that day at the central office building. As I was walking from my car to the central office building, I heard a woman and a man yelling about serving something. I didn't see that. But okay, let's see what else. As they got closer to me, the woman and the man became more aggressive. Didn't see that. Didn't see people getting annoyed that he refused to accept service. Like that's what you do. When somebody serves you, you take the document and you go about your business. You don't refuse to take the document, especially when it's presented to you. They tell you what it is. I hear plenty of people telling him it's a legal document. I heard him telling him what was in the document, and I see Bob Peterson just going about refusing to take it. All right. So he says, I recognize the woman as Deborah Keither. All right. Cool. Miss Keither attempted to push a white piece of paper in my hand while I had my shoulder bag in one hand and a plate of cookies in another. What a gentleman. Well, let's see what we got. So what should we got?
You'll be served next.
I do see a plate of cookies, it looks like. He must be bringing those for all the other directors. What a nice guy. I see that in one hand. Still in one hand.
Peterson,
one hand, one hand, one hand, one hand, one hand. Oh, nice move. One hand. All right. So that didn't seem accurate to me, but you know, hey, okay. All right. Miss Keither continued to yell at me as I attempted to enter the central office building. I didn't see that. I heard her say you're served. If that's yelling, I don't know what you'd call what MPS teachers do. That's for sure. I don't know what you would call. If that's yelling, that doesn't fit my generally accepted understanding of what the word yelling means. Let's put it like that. All right. Now let's go here. Ms. Keither continued to yell at me as I attempted to enter the central office building. As I entered the central office building, Ms. Keither pulled the collar of my shirt back and stuffed a piece of paper down my shirt. All right. Well, that's a big claim.
You'll be served next.
Let's see what happens. So now just keep in mind that I'm assuming that this is Dr. Keither with here, because I recognize her voice, but it looks like she has a camera in one hand because she's filming.
Director Peterson.
Oh, then she's got the document. He refused to take it from him, so maybe we'll come.
You're served.
Now, it doesn't not clear to me that there was any touching there, and not clear to me. I couldn't see, but I could see that she's got a camera in one hand and a document in the other. So, not really that clear to me how she will have pulled his shirt back and attempted to stuff a piece of paper down the shirt. Just not clear, immediately obvious to me. If somebody knows how that's possible based on that, that's one of the reasons we're doing it. Let me know. All right. He says then, I pulled the piece of paper out from my back of my shirt and turned back towards Miss Keither and stated, don't touch me and keep your hands off me. I didn't hear keep your hands off me. Again, not clear from the video that there's any kind of contact, that he's flopping or not, or what. Not clear for me that if there was any contact, that it would be anything other than incidental. Not clear to me. Don't see that. Clear to me that I don't see him pulling a piece of paper out from the back of his shirt, turning towards Miss Keither and saying, don't touch me and keep your hands off me. Well, let's see what else he says. Oh, I then dropped a piece of paper and entered the central office building. All right, let's see how that worked out. I think that's this one here. We can push play here again, and let's see what happens.
You'll be served next. You're served, Director Peterson. You are served.
I heard him say you have to take service.
You're served. You're served.
Oh, I didn't see him take any document out.
You are served.
I didn't see it throw it on the ground. And if he did take a document, why would he throw it on the ground if they're telling him that it's service? I just don't get that. I mean, it seems to me like he's trying to not accept service, even though they're clearly telling him what's in the document. It seems like he's telling him what's in the document right there.
Peterson. You are served. You're served. You're served. You are served.
She's got the document in her hand the whole time. Jeez. That doesn't look good
Next.
for Bob Peterson. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, he was shaken by the incident. Well, see, that seems, given all the other times, I think this is 14 paragraphs here. So dropped a piece of paper, that didn't appear to happen to me. Pulled the piece of paper, didn't see that. Pulled the shirt back, didn't see that. Yelled, didn't see that. Attempted to push a paper in my hand while I had a shoulder bag and a plate of cookies in the other. Didn't see that. Huh. Okay, there was Deborah Keithley there, so that sounds pretty factual. As they got more aggressive, didn't see that. All right. I heard a woman and man yelling about serving something. Okay, so he admits that they were telling him about service. The yelling part, I didn't hear that. Didn't seem clear to me. Traveled to central office. His name is Bob Peterson. That looks right. I drove my car to the parking lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it says he's got a prior engagement scheduled for that. I understand his wife's got another child. It's good for her. Okay. So I'm on 4 out of 14. At no time did Miss Keither read what was on the piece of paper or give me the piece of paper. Well, she certainly gave it to him, and she certainly didn't stuff it down his fat. And in fact, the gentleman that was there clearly was trying to read out what was on the piece of paper. So that's disingenuous for the first part, and then over here, that's false. So mostly false, partially disingenuous. So 4 out of 14. That's not quite failing. I would, just by going on that rate of accuracy, I'm going to guess he wasn't shaken. But, maybe he was. I couldn't say for sure. That's all up to him, and I don't determine his credibility. But from my point of view here, he didn't seem that shaken, other than the fact that he was refusing to take service and refusing to participate in the democratic process. I note afterwards, immediately afterwards, some 10 minutes, I guess, to be fair, that as far as I understand, then Director Peterson lectured the audience on the democratic process and being civil, which seems apparently pretty rich given this behavior here. But, hey, that's Bob Peterson for you. Apparently he's a big hypocrite. From what I can see, he seems to be doing one thing, which is running away from the democratic process, and then on the other hand, lecturing people on the democratic process. I also note then that they apparently made up some new rules about how you could hold signs and so forth. I didn't see any vote on that. So, again, democratic process for some, but not for all, apparently. So that about wraps it up for Bob Peterson. We could say that we had hopes, but I think it's pretty clear that we don't have any more hopes. It's too late. Too late, Bob Peterson. You could have done something. You didn't. You're a failure. We all know it. We knew it beforehand. We watched you do it. We watched you be a failure. We watched you fail. And here we are. The children are no better off. Bob Posley is still in charge. And, Keith Peterson, there's no daylight between them. So that's the fact. We'll see what this new board does. Hopes I don't have many. And we'll go from there. We'll continue to hold them accountable. Stick with us. We'll keep you informed.